Let's take a look at another problem that's very similar to problem number 3. So again, here we're given a linear equation and we're asked to solve for t. So again, this problem is very similar to the last problem. We have to take care of this negative sign, distribute it to each term inside the parentheses. And you can think of this as -1, right? So even though we don't see it there, the coefficient in front of this quantity, t plus 2, is -1. So let's distribute that -1 to each term inside the parentheses. And in this particular problem, I just want to point out that this example is very similar to the last one in that the coefficient is 1, but it can be any number, okay? It could be 2, it could be -3, it could even be a decimal. So just don't assume that it's always going to be -1, okay? All right, but let's continue. So we've got 5 minus -1 times t is -t. -1 times +2 is -2. And then on the right-hand side here, let's just bring that down, okay? All right, so same thing as before. We want to try and combine any like terms. So on the left here, I've got +5 and -2. They're like terms. So let's go ahead and combine those terms. 5 minus 2, that gives me 3. So I've got 3 minus t is equal to 15.9 t minus 7.13. Okay, now this is where you get to choose whether or not you want to keep t terms on the right-hand side of the equal sign or if you want to keep the t terms on the left. So I'm going to bring all the t terms over to the left and combine them and keep them on the left-hand side of the equal sign. So to do that, I need to undo this 15.9t on the right-hand side. So its inverse is to subtract it. And then again, whatever I do to one side, I got to make sure I do the same thing to the other side. So that cancels out. And then on the left, I'm going to combine this term and this term, okay? So I still have the 3. Let's bring that down. -15t minus t, that's -16.9t. Okay, and then on the right, I've got that -7.13. Okay. All right, now I'm going to combine the 3. I'm going to combine the 3 and the -7.13. So I got to bring this guy over. And to do that, I have to use inverse operations. So the opposite of +3 is -3. Okay, that cancels out. So on the left-hand side here, we're left with -16.9t. And on the right, negative and a negative. That gives us -10.13. Okay? All right, and then our last step to solving for t is we have to divide out that -16.9. So let's do that on both sides. Okay, so this cancels out, leaves us with 1t. And on the right, we've got -10.13 divided by -16.9. And let's clean this up. So let's go ahead and put this into our calculator. A negative divided by negative is a positive. 10.13 divided by 16.9 is approximately 0.599. So if we round to 2 decimal places, that's roughly 0.6. Okay? All right, we'll save the next example for the next video.